going on, people? Welcome to Football Carnage, and we are back. Brand new kind of show that we got going on today, Carnage X Dally. And we got a lot of stuff to get into because yesterday and today, I'm seeing a bunch of overreactions. So we had to get on stream, and we got to talk about it because we did kick off our LaLiga campaign. I know a lot of people aren't happy with how it started, but big up Dally, right? Make sure you guys subscribe. His channel is in the title. Click that link. And also, big up to the chat, man. Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and let us know what you're thinking about any of the things that get brought up. But, Dally, my guy, I think it's the first time that we've done a 1v1,
I
right?
think a 1v1, yeah, you know. I don't know if it's a 1v1 or if we're going against the chat or what we're going to be doing exactly. But, yeah, I think first time, mate. So appreciate you having me on. And I wish it was a little better circumstances. I wish we were talking about an ass whooping, belt to ass sort of thing, you know. But we got to discuss. We can only go one game at a time, man. We can only go one game at a time. So we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, bro, like it is what it is. I mean, what are you saying for that game? 1-0 win, right? At the Bernabéu. Obviously, got the 3 points. But talk to me about the performance, bro.
You know, initially, I was pissed. And I went back yesterday. I don't know why I do it to myself sometimes. I went back and rewatched the game. And I actually was a little more encouraged than I was initially. You know what I mean? There was a lot of opportunities I think that we actually had that if the ball bounces a little bit, if the cross is just a little bit lower, if Vinny's actually passing on the overlap, stuff like that, we have opportunities. There's one of the things I tweeted out too, when Mbappe absolutely cooked about half the entire defense for Osasuna. He passes the ball back, but if he passes it forward to Arda Güler, we have Carreras wide open on the left wing with literally nobody there. I mean, we have like an opportunity right then and there. So it's just little things like that I think we can get better at. But a couple of things that I thought, you know, we had 3 guys in the back 4 that were making their first debut in the Santiago Bernabéu. With one of them, too, not including the 3, being Militao for the first time playing 90 minutes since November of last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What are you saying, mate?
Bro, I'm seeing a lot of overreactions. And it's very jarring to me, right? Like, again, just like before the season even kicked off, we might as well just wrap it up now, Dally. Let's not do another watch-along. Just give the title to Barcelona. Let's just forfeit every game, and then maybe we just go again next season.
They've never won a game 1-0, mate. They've never won a game 1-0 with a penalty,
no,
ever.
Of course not. I mean, look, last season when Barca won games and they kind of struggled and it was like a 1-0 scrappy, when, oh, this is what a champions do. Not every game's going to be an amazing performance, etc. Bro, let me tell you something right now. No, I'm not happy with how that game went, right? For me, I thought we were going to do a lot better. Yep. But at the same time, when I look at how the game was flowing, Osasuna, they came out there in a fucking 6-2-2. 6 men in the box. They compacted the middle of the pitch as well, and nobody left their areas, right? Like, nobody overcommitted on challenges. They weren't pressing us. They just stayed in the box, and they closed the middle. So all that they really gave us was shots from outside of the box, or when you're going against an extreme low block like that, you have to cross the ball into the box, right? Now, Unfortunately for us, we don't have an aerial threat, right? So us crossing the ball, when you got Mbappe trying to go against 2 or 3 defenders at one time because of how many are in there, it's not going to work aerially for us, right? So I do think Xabi Alonso, he does have to work on another way for us to be able to break down defenses like that. But let's be very honest here. We don't usually see a defensive setup like that, right? Like, that was extremely defensive from Osasuna. And I don't blame them, right? You're at the Bernabéu. Every time we play them, we usually slap them. So their manager comes into this game and he tries something different. I don't blame them. But they defended really well. I think we just could not break down what they were trying to do. Because essentially, what we're looking for one of our players to do, grab the ball, dribble around 6-7 players, create a great chance, or get an amazing shot off. Like, and this is where when people say, oh, we look like shit, we're not playing well, we were the only team out there that was actually playing football. Even when they were down 1-0, they were still
that was crazy. You would think they would have opened up.
They didn't try to attack until the 85th minute, Dally.
Yeah, no, you're right. And that's the thing that I try to stress whenever I'm talking about it too. I think you do the same. A draw is a win for these lower level teams. You know what I mean? If they can come, this is for Barcelona, this is for Real Madrid, to a lesser extent, Atletico Madrid and like Bilbao and stuff like that. But if they can come and go 0-0 and stuff, 1-1, whatever it is. I mean, if they would have scored first on a random counterattack, dude, it'd been 10 guys in the box, 11 maybe. It would have been absolutely insane too. And yeah, I am curious about Gonzalo Garcia. I think that a game like that, maybe we should be seeing him starting. I don't know. What do you think? Should we be bringing him off the bench maybe at the 60th minute if nothing's working? Or do you think he's somebody that against like a low block team like that we should be starting? Because he's really the only aerial threat we have.
Yeah, I think Gonzalo Garcia maybe should have started this game. I know that, and again, I know that teams, they do play a low block. But we don't go against 6 men in the box. Like, anybody that's saying that we go against 6 men in the box week in, week out, you're lying. Like, that's just not the reality, right? I've never seen a team be that extremely defensive against us, right? We didn't see that last season, and I'm not saying that's never happened, but it's too far and few for me to actually remember. That was legit a 6-2-2. So what I'm asking you is, how is any team supposed to break that down? Like, let's just be very honest. Osasuna, we have to give them credit. They defended very well. Nobody overcommitted. They didn't give us anything, right? They just kept going back. Nobody's coming out to press us. Nobody's trying to hit us on the counter. So, yeah, a game like that, it is going to be very hard to break down when you essentially have 8 defenders out there and then 2 guys who are used as outlets. So, again, I think I'm seeing overreactions. I do think Gonzalo Garcia would have been useful a little bit earlier in that game. But at the same time, I don't think he could have done much either. I really don't. Like, for a setup like that, in my opinion, you need, like, a Sorloth. Somebody that's, like, 6'4", 6'5", right? Like, that kind of presence up front. Because you're not going to be able to just pass the ball around and then break them down when they're just packing the middle and then it's 5 or 6 of them in the box. So this is what I'm trying to figure out. I remember Dave called me during halftime, and he's just going absolutely mad. We know how Dave is, right? Everything Madrid shit, everything Barcelona beautiful, right? Like, so I already knew what he was going to say, but I asked him, how can we break this down? He essentially is looking for somebody to be prime Messi. It's like, it's not going to happen, bro. Like, it's just not a reality.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I just said a different team and stuff too. You talk about Sorloth, but like Holland, Man City last year when they played Southampton won 1-0, and that's a team that's doing the same thing. I'm looking right now. It's disgusting, the lineup that they did. It's basically like a 9 and a 1 is what their lineup is. Absolutely disgusting. And Holland got a goal, but they only got 1 goal against that. And I think too that we have to remember too, we had a shorter preseason and stuff like that. We're not fully in the groove. I know people can say like, oh, you had the Club World Cup and stuff, but then you had a break. You know what I mean? Where Barcelona and some of these other teams have actually had some preseason coming into it, where they've kind of developed a little bit more together. And, PSG, they struggled. It was 1-0. I know they didn't start everybody. Chelsea was 0-0. Chelsea smacked the crap out of PSG 4-0, and they can't even score against Crystal Palace. So I think things like that we have to understand. I think that Gonzalo Garcia, the thing that I do rate about him when he was in the Club World Cup is he's very quick at making that pass, that give-and-go kind of pass. And that's kind of what you need, I think, to actually break down the low block. And so I could see him linking up with Mbappe. I could see Franco. Franco was trying to do that whenever he actually came out there. I thought he was a bright spot in that game. So I think you need to be doing things like that to actually open it up. And
but Dally, the thing is, usually when you're going against a team that's setting up that defensively minded, right? You capitalize off their mistakes, right? Because obviously you're going to dominate possession. So now you're looking for people to maybe overcommit on certain areas, or for somebody to like leave their position and then maybe you catch them out, you're able to get in behind, right? And this is where I'm saying we have to give Osasuna credit because 100%. I think defensively they did a phenomenal job. Their discipline was very good that game. Again, this is why Dean Howson, Militao, right? This is why these players were able to shoot from outside the box, like when Arda Güler had that shot as well, because nobody's stepping up. So the thing is, if nobody's stepping up, and if they're just sitting in the box, and then if you have the 4 midfielders basically just sitting in the middle, what are you meant to do? You can't force them to overcommit You can't force them to step out of position. You can't force them to try and press. So they're just letting us hold the ball, and they're fine with us taking shots from outside the box. I see D-Money right here is saying that Barcelona play these. No, you don't. No, you don't. I do hate-alongs for Barca. I've never seen a team set up how Osasuna did against Barcelona. Mallorca didn't do that. Even the other day, when Mallorca had 11 men, they were not that defensive against Barca. And I'm not saying that I'm mad at Osasuna for doing that, because I think that is a great.
You got to do what you got to do. I get it.
Exactly. But let's not act like we see that week in, week out against the big teams in La Liga. You're lying if you're saying that, bro. But Dally, I want to ask you, bro, what are you saying about that penalty? Because I'm now seeing people say that it shouldn't have been given. I still think it's a pen, because when you look at it, the defender slide tackles, he completely misses the ball. He's now underneath Mbappe, who is in full motion, has to bring his foot down. There's still collision there. He missed. That's still a penalty in my opinion.
Yeah, Mbappe's
exactly. Like, it's still contact.
Yeah, 100%. No, that's the thing. If you slow down a car crash by 1,000%, it's not going to look as bad as if you play at full speed. You know what I mean? Mbappe has to put his foot somewhere too. I feel like people were trying to say Mbappe fouled him when he stomped him. You know what I mean? Like, that was the vibe I was getting. That's 100% a penalty. I don't even argue with your mirror if you disagree with that. Honestly, it's insane. So yeah. I wish we weren't relying on getting penalties to win. I wish we were scoring an open play and stuff like that. Trust me, but it is what it is there. So
yeah, I mean, the thing is too, bro. We are lucky to have gotten that. If that defender does not make that decision, we don't end up getting like anything from that game, bro. And now we're sitting here, and it's a very bad result. Yeah. But I mean, like, do you think that Osasuna gave teams like the blueprint to beat us, bro? Like,
maybe. I think that's the thing. I think we're going to see probably a lot more of this season, and we're just going to kind of have to get used to it. We're going to have to make adjustments too. I'm curious if maybe bringing on Denis Ceballos or something like that might be something that could help us. I think Brahim cannot be starting, especially when he's over there at the right wing. That's kind of thing. It almost reminded me of Arda Güler last year, where you're trying to put Arda Güler over the right wing and have him make up something. He's not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I'd rather be seeing Franco do it. I'd rather be seeing 100%. I'd rather be seeing Rodrigo in there too. And that's not even like saying, oh, just take Vinny out, put Rodrigo in. I just rather, like, even the 4-3-3, put Rodrigo in, because I feel like that when the wingers that we were having, and Mbappe was actually doing well with this. He was actually taking on the defenders pretty well. He was actually getting by them and stuff. And I feel like Vinny, any little contact that Vinny got, he just kind of stops. And I kind of wish he wouldn't do that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you didn't think Vinny had a good game, no, right?
No, I didn't think so. It bothers me. I don't think it was absolutely horrible, anything like that. I think there was a couple opportunities. There was one opportunity that we had rewatching it where if Mbappe looks up quicker, he had Vinny in the middle of the park where he just could have do a through ball right to Vinny, and Vinny's probably at least getting a shot off. I think it could have been a lot worse than what Vinny was doing. It's just, he's just a little too soft at times. Looking for the penalty in the box that was never going to be a penalty. You can see he just kind of lets go there. And then when it goes to actually taking on defenders, nobody's scared of Vinny anymore. You know what I mean? Like, if you watch Jamal, you watch Mbappe, some of these attackers, they're going at defenders, and it doesn't matter what they do, they're just going to cook them. And Vinny, for some reason, he lacks that now. I don't know. I don't get it. What do you think?
Yeah, Vinny didn't have a good game, in my opinion. I mean, he tried things, just nothing came off. And I know he's going to be the one that gets scapegoated, because that's just the narrative that runs nowadays. But I don't think any of our attackers, aside from Mbappe, were that effective. No. I think Mbappe, to me, had a man of the match level performance. I think Dean Housen also could be the other person that you could say man of the match as well.
Carreras, if you watch him again, he was excellent in that game. I was very impressed with him.
Would you say he was excellent? I mean, I don't
really Dude, he was very, very good. I'm telling you, he's somebody who's actually looking for a quick give and go sort of thing. He's overlapping. He's he's constantly creating out there too. And then defensively too, I thought he was very solid. Again, Osasuna's not the best on the attack, anything like that. So take it for a grain of salt. But I thought he was very, very good, especially watching second time.
I mean, okay. For me, I didn't really look at Alvaro Carreras and said he had like a very good game. I thought he was just okay. Same thing like what I thought with Trent, even though I know Trent's numbers didn't look the best in terms of passing, because you're trying to put the ball into the box, and it's fucking 6 defenders there.
Yep.
So I know like the numbers weren't all of that, but I just thought defensively overall we didn't really get tested that much. They only really had about 2 shots, I think, and one Budimir absolutely had a horrible shot. And then I'm forgetting the second one.
They had one cross into the box that was right toward the end. That was really close. That could have been a 1-1 game.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. But the thing is, though, right? For me, Vinicius just was not all that.
No.
And I already said, I think Vinicius has the first 3 games for me until I sit here and say, he needs to be dropped. And so far, he's 0 for 1. But at the same time, I don't think a majority of the players that were in the final third for a majority of the game made that much of an impact, right? I don't think Arda Güler did.
No, Arda wasn't good. Nope.
He did have that one shot, which
that was close,
very close. And if he had scored that, that would have been a banger. But at the same time, I expect, okay, we're going against an extreme low block, very difficult to break. The defense is not really giving us much. Arda is one of those players that I would have been looking at saying he's going to maybe be able to get something done. He didn't really give us much. Right? I think Valverde, we all love him. I thought he was pretty mid, right? Yeah. For as much as they were allowing us to shoot from outside the box, I think Valverde's maybe our best long-range shooter. He only took 1, and it was an awful shot.
It's awful, yeah.
It was awful, right? So, again, everybody's going to want to scapegoat Vinny, but everybody else was mediocre as well for the most part, except for, again, Mbappe, right? I think Mbappe was our best attacker. But let me ask you a question, bro. We do play Real Oviedo next.
Yep.
Would you drop Vinicius for that game? Because Rodrigo got no minutes, and we could talk about him too, because that's something that is pretty concerning.
Yeah, no, personally, I would, because I think that the thing with Vinny that we have to remember is expectations that we have for Vinny. Brahim had a stinker yesterday too. Arda Güler had a stinker. I didn't think Fede was great. Tchouaméni was okay at best. But the expectations that we have for Vinny, last year, I think Dave and I were all calling him probably the best player in the world. He should be winning the Ballon d'Or. So that's my expectations for Vinny. That's my expectations for Mbappe to go out there and look like a top 10 player, top 5 player in the world. And so when they're not meeting that expectation, you got to call it for what it is. I would put Vinny on the bench and bring him off because I think maybe it lets him see a little more of the game from the bench. And then when he can come on, he's going against tired legs. He can kind of go at defenders a little bit more too. And maybe that can build a little more confidence because right now I just think he's lacking confidence. I don't think he trusts himself. I really don't think he trusts him shooting. He shot it once the entire game. Why is Alvaro Carreras able to cut inside and actually get a shot off, but Vinny can't? You know what I mean? So,
I mean, like, why though? Like, why is his confidence not there? I don't get it, bro. Missing out on the Ballon d'Or can't be that serious. It cannot be that serious to where it's completely affected you to where you don't believe in yourself anymore. Like, that to me is just nonsense, bro. I'm looking at Vinicius. He needs to wake the fuck up because the reports already came out the other day that he's not going to be signing an extension this summer, right? He wants to gamble and bet on himself, right? He wants to play out this next season and then see what happens. But I don't like that, Dally, because now if Vinicius enters the last year of his contract without a deal, he holds all the power in negotiations. Imagine if Vinicius says, I'm not going to sign a new deal. I'm going to run out my contract and then go to Saudi for free, right? Because players can do that. Like, why are we allowing him to, like, again, and it's a gamble because if he plays like shit this upcoming season, then I think he gets forced out. But at the same time, if he then does amazing and if he does find his 23-24 form, then he's going to ask for more money and he's only going to have a year left. So now the club are going to have to pay him because you cannot lose your best players for free. Madrid are not in the business of selling our best players either. That's why when people say, oh, 300 million, 500 million, we're not a selling club. Like, Florentino Perez is not viewing it the way that we are. He's not going to sit here and say, oh, well, Saudi made an amazing offer. Let's sell our best players. He's not going to do that, bro.
No,
so it's a massive gamble, Dally. Like, Vinny is taking the biggest risk of his career by not just accepting the terms that Real Madrid are offering him. And at the same time, I think Madrid are dumb for not giving him a new deal after the 23-24 season. that is when he had the strongest position to negotiate for higher wages. And then that's when Madrid should have been looking to get the deal done so that he doesn't even get to 2 years left.
I think pre-Mbappe, you know what I mean? So he doesn't even know what Mbappe's making and stuff like that. Everybody knew Mbappe was coming, but when you don't know the contract and everything like that too. I'm curious what the chat says. Do you give Vinny a contract or you let it run it down? You know, you're right about...
I know what they're going to say, but you can't let Vinny leave for free, though.
You can't. You can't. Yeah.
You have to get money for him then next summer. But at the same time, if he ends up having an amazing season again, then he's going to want more money than Mbappe. Right? I mean, again, it's just super weird how this situation is taking place right now. But, yeah. I mean, whether I like it or not, because you guys all know my position, I think Vinicius is more important than Mbappe in terms of to Real Madrid. But at the moment, Mbappe's playing better. So if somebody has to get dropped, it has to be Vinicius right now. Yeah. I mean, Dally, you kind of shook your head though, bro. Like,
I just think Mbappe is a way better player. I think he's more consistent. I think he offers a lot more on the attack. I understand the argument saying that we won Champions Leagues with Vinny. Mbappe hasn't done anything. I understand that the PSG got better after Mbappe left. They also did buy Kvaratskhelia. Nunez became one of the best left backs in the world. And there's a lot of things that can be true at the same time. I think that people don't always look at that. But for Vinny, I would rather give him the contract next year if he earns it. You know, if he goes out there and balls and we have to pay him even more than now, sure. I mean, I watch the NFL, you watch the NFL. That's kind of how it is. Sometimes you just have to go out there and earn it. And maybe we're going to overpay a little next year, but I'd rather do that than give him a stupid contract now when he doesn't deserve. I mean, what he wants right now, he doesn't deserve based on how he's performed last season. And that's what you kind of have to go off of.
Yeah, and this is what's confusing me. Why didn't Vinicius ask for these wages after 23-24?
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been the best time to do it. You're coming off of us winning the UCL, La Liga, right? You're on Ballon d'Or form. You were the favorite at the time to win the award. That would have been the best time to ask for what you want, which is, I think he wants $20 million a year with plus 10 million in bonuses, right? Yeah. Which I don't think is crazy. I don't think that's what's the word? I don't think that's a obscene amount of money,
inflated,
right, for a player that you consider one of the best in the world, right? Yep. But coming off of a season where you ghosted for about half of it, I think Madrid are looking at it like, bro, why would we give you that right now? Like, you have to start. And I think if Vinicius would have had another great season like what he did in 23-24, I think he gets the money. Because why would the club not pay him that, right? I think he has, over the last 4 or 5 years, he has done enough to get a pay rise. I just don't think that it's the kind of pay rise that he wants right now. And when I say that I think Vinicius is more important to Real Madrid, again, I always go back to proof of concept, right, Dally?
Yep.
With Vinicius being the main man in attack, right, with him leading that front line, we have had a lot of success. Mbappe, so far, we have not. At PSG, they did not have the success that they won Ligue 1. They won the fucking Copa de France. Who gives a fuck about
They made it to the Champions League final.
Exactly. PSG are spending all that money to win the UCL, not just to dominate fucking like Marcel, okay? They want to win the UCL. And with Mbappe as the main man, with them giving him all that control, right? With him being the guy that essentially was acting like a sporting director as a player, they still couldn't get over the line. So that's where I just get nervous on if we just tailor the team to Mbappe, and if we just make him the focal point, is that going to translate to us being able to win the UCL? Because so far, Mbappe's not shown us in his career that he can do it as the number one option in attack.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. You know, I think the argument would be there is look at what Vinny's done when Mbappe's not been a part of the team. And I think the first thing we can do is go look at the Club World Cup. Because we remember, Mbappe wasn't there. Mbappe only played 2 games in the entire Club World Cup, right? It was Juventus, or it was BVB, and then PSG. Yeah. He didn't even play against Juventus. And so if you take a look at it, I mean, I'm only going off of FOTMob, so take it for what it is. 6.9, 7.5, 8.5, 7.8, 6.8 is what he did without Mbappe actually being out there, with only 1 goal and 1 assist in, 5 games? You can't blame Mbappe for that. You know what I mean? And that's everybody out there. That's a Dean Howson being out there. That's a Jude Bellingham being out there. There's no Rodrigo out there. But Gonzalo Garcia looked good. Gonzalo Garcia didn't have any issue scoring in that. So that's kind of my thing with Vinny. Vinny has had opportunities without Mbappe to go out there. I mean, if Vinny goes out there and looks fantastic in all those games, and then with Mbappe he looks terrible, then it's like, okay, I get what you're saying. He's had opportunities, he just hasn't done it, in my opinion.
Now, I mean, fair enough, but at the same time, do you believe in Xabi Alonso to be able to get the job done in terms of getting a system in place where both of them can thrive? Because again, I just think it's so many overreactions, right? Like people just, it's either good or it's shit. There's never in the middle. It's always one end of the extreme, bro. And like this is where I get very annoyed with content creators because everybody just wants to make overarching statements. And then if they get proven wrong, then nobody comes back and says, okay, you know what, maybe I was a bit too harsh there or whatnot. Like it just like it's never gray area. It's always black or white. And that shit just annoys me, bro.
Yeah, no, I 100% get what you're saying, mate. That's why for me, you know, I try not to yell, try not to scream and stuff like that. My voice can't go that high and do that stuff sometimes. But no, you're right. It is overreactionary a lot of times too. I think the biggest thing is I do think Xabi Alonso can get it done. I really do. I think that he's a good coach. I mean, the Invincible for Bayer Leverkusen and stuff before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think everything he's done there, I think it takes time. And I think for us, our expectations led to a little resentment when it didn't look perfect, when it wasn't a 4-0 ass to belt sort of thing. You know what I mean? So I think we kind of set ourselves up for failure when it didn't meet the expectations that we actually had. You know, for me, for example, for one of the players' expectations, I had no expectations for Carreras out there. You know what I mean? But every time I've seen him, I'm like, actually, he looks good. He looks good. But when it comes to Trent, I think Trent should be considered one of the best right backs in the world, but he hasn't looked like that so far. So it's about the expectations that you had to. And I think for a lot of us Madridistas out there, we were just excited about the season, excited to see what was going to be happening. New coach, Santiago Bernabéu, you know, look at all these new players, except for, and then it just was disappointing. You know, it felt a little the same in certain areas too, but then there were some times that it was a little bit better. So I don't know. I just think we need to temper our expectations a little, and maybe it's going to be a little more growing pains than we maybe think. So.
I mean, that's fair, but at the same time, Dally, I'm not concerned.
No,
I'm not concerned. Like, I don't look at that match against Osasuna and then think to myself, oh, we're cooked. Oh, we're going to be shit. Oh, same old Madrid, right? Like, this is what Varsitards want to believe. Again, we were the only team out there that was trying to play football, right? Now, again, how Osasuna set up, I think they did a fantastic job. Their manager has a game plan that I think was really effective, right? But just because we went against one team that was out there playing haram ball, it doesn't mean that we were also playing haram ball. We just couldn't break them down because they were very disciplined defensively. They didn't give us anything. Nobody left their positions. They packed the box. More teams are going to struggle against tactic 10 times. What do you think? You're going to go batter a team fucking 5-0 that's playing 6 people in the box, 2 DMs as well, and then only 2 men up front as an outlet? It's not going to happen, bro. And see, this is what I'm talking about, where people just overreact. I'm not worried about the season. People in my chat telling me, oh, do you still think Madrid are going to win La Liga? Oh, do you still think that Xabi Alonso? Oh, do you still? Yes, I do. Everything that I've said before this season, yes, I still believe it. Right? I'm seeing, and big up to my guy, Barca Volume. Bro was in the group chat sending the league table after match day 1. Man,
August FC is wild, mate. It's wild.
Table.
Well, on goal difference, goal difference, they already won it.
Congratulate brother. Did we get the 3 points?
It's all that matters.
3 points. But I mean, so are you kind of thinking like me in terms of we'll be fine, or do you have concerns?
No, we'll be fine. I think the biggest thing, we're so risk adverse at times. And I think that's something that we need to be a lot better at. And the things I think that we can improve, and these things aren't even hard things to improve. Vinny needs to be taking more than 1 shot a game. Arda Güler probably needs to be taking more than 1 shot a game. Fede Valverde needs to be taking more than 1 shot a game. Brahim Diaz actually needs to be involved, or bring in a Franco, bring in a Rodrigo, stuff like that. Those are areas that we can improve. Bring on a Gonzalo Garcia, you know what I mean? But when it comes to when you're not taking any risk, when you're not taking any shots, guess what? You don't score goals, ever. It doesn't matter how good you are as a player. If Barcelona's not taking shots, they're not going to be scoring goals too. So Vinny has to be taking more shots. And if some of them look like they're going to Sao Paulo, that's okay. If he continues to get a little bit better every single time he takes a shot, you know what I mean? So
man said the shot is going to Sao Paulo. Yeah, I mean, like you brought
That
up
shot was wild, dude. It wasn't even close, but I was like,
what'd you think about Franco's debut? Imagine that Franco coming on before Rodrigo.
that was wild. That was what the kid just turned 18 on Thursday, mate. He's been
here less than a week, Dally.
I know. The kid probably doesn't even have an apartment yet or anything like that, too. Doesn't even know where he's going.
Man is sleeping at the training ground. Have you seen the suites that the players get?
Oh, that's wild.
Oh, my day. Brother, I wouldn't get an apartment either. I'm just living there.
I would live there. Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
That shit is beautiful. My day.
I know. And people wonder why people go to Real Madrid. People wonder why they dream of going to Real Madrid.
Yo, bro.
It's
imagine
insane.
if you're Trent, right? You're living in Liverpool. You're hearing that Scouse accent 24/7. It's rainy. The food sucks. You know what I'm saying? Liverpool, let's be real. Yeah,
Fish and chips
had a
in it,
good
bro.
transfer window, but I don't think Liverpool are all that, right?
Yeah.
And then Madrid come calling. Sunny, you know what I'm saying? Better food. And then you're looking at the facilities. Dally, you saw the video that I dropped. Like that.
It's a flex.
Yeah,
coming
bro,
in.
look at the walk-in just to the fucking stadium, bro. That shit is beautiful, bro.
Must be nice.
If I was Franco, I would be in no rush to get an apartment either. And you could probably stay there for free, bro.
And people were wondering why Vallejo said, I'm not leaving. I'm never leaving here. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm running down that contract. I don't care. Yeah. People were wondering. But no, let's talk about Franco. I thought he was good for what we saw. You know, I was absolutely shocked he was one of the first. Him and Danny Carvajal were the first subs in this game. Think about that. That's crazy. The kid hasn't even been there a week. He comes in, and he looks explosive. You know, he looks good on the ball. He looks like he was getting back on the ball, too. I thought his passes was good. I thought Arda Güler looked a little bit better out there, too. He was making runs into the box. The kid has a crazy left foot. And I love the hair, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to seeing Franco a lot more, too.
Nah, bro, he rocked up looking like Eminem.
Slim Shady, dude.
Yeah, it's like
about to start doing some diss tracks.
You know what's crazy? I actually would start him next game.
Oh, yeah. Over Brahim?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Look. And we can talk about Rodrigo.
Yep.
He's cooked. Rodrigo, it's over, bro. It's not happening.
Do you think he leaves?
I don't care what Xabi Alonso tells us. Actions speak louder than words, bro.
Yep.
Xabi can tell us how important Rodrigo is. It's not what your actions are showing me, buddy. Because there's no way we're in a game against a team that's setting up with a very low block, right? 6 men in the box. We're struggling to break them down. And you have Rodrigo on the bench. And you think to yourself, yeah, let me bring on Franco first. Let me bring on Gonzalo Garcia. Let me bring on Danny Ceballos. Let me bring on Carvajal. But let me not bring on Rodrigo. There's just no way. Like, that game would have, I think, benefited him because he is a player that's good on the ball, you know, very tidy with his possession, can link play, can cross the ball into the box, can do different things to help us break them down. And he got 0 minutes. He's not injured. He's fit. He's available. And this is not the first time that he's got a DNP underneath Xabi Alonso. He's cooked, bro, at this club.
Do you think he leaves before the transfer window closes?
You know, I'm trying to think. Who would need a left winger? Like, Matt Law already came out and said that Arsenal are not going to be going.
Arsenal looks like to be getting Eze now.
Huh?
Yeah, that's Fabrizio Romano 18 seconds ago. Following talks, Arsenal have convinced Eze, and he prefers to join them over Tottenham.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's wild. So
funny. Okay, so funny that you bring that up because I saw this earlier. So, sorry, I said Matt Law. I was wrong. Wrong reporter. David Ornstein, he says, I don't think Arsenal made a huge play for Rodrigo. They considered it like other players, but I don't expect him to join Arsenal. But now you're saying that they're going in for Eze.
That's what Fabrizio Romano's saying. I'll put it in the chat for you, and you can pull it up.
Wow.
I think Eze's good. I actually think that'd be a good pick for them.
No, I mean, look, that is a good
It's not
signing,
Rodrigo.
But now, I mean, look, so they're definitely not going in for Rodrigo now. I think Eze might be their last piece of attacking business for this window. But now I'm looking at it like, okay, what teams could possibly come in for the Mumbai Neymar, right? You maybe have like Liverpool. I know that they're looking at Isaac, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen, bro. Like, Newcastle do not want to sell. I think if Rodrigo does want to move, Liverpool at the moment right? Even though I don't rate them that highly, just as a club in general, they are having a great summer window. They do have a team that's ready to win now, right? And I think Rodrigo can start on that left wing. Maybe you look at Man City, but I think it's only contingent on if Savio leaves, and I don't think he's going anymore, right? Well, maybe he will, because
that's what I was going to say. I think if Eze does go to Arsenal, then Spurs have the money to go and bring it up a little higher for Savio, which if that would happen, then Man City has a little bit more money to go at Madrid for Rodrigo, you know?
Yeah, so. I mean, that's a good point. Okay, so what would you do if you're Rodrigo, Dally? What would you do?
You know, I'll be honest. If I was Rodrigo, I'd be hoping I go to City. Because, you know, he can love the club. He can love Real Madrid as much as possible. But for Rodrigo to reach the highest point that I think he's capable of, I think you do too, Will. I won't speak for you, but I think he's a hell of a player. I think he'd be the best left wing in the Prem if he went to Man City. I think Man City's going to win the Prem already this season. I believe that. But
really? Over Liverpool?
I think so. Yeah, I really do.
Okay, wait. Why is that?
I think that they're not as bad as people think. I mean, they got a lot better toward the end of the last season. I think Haaland is consistently the best striker in the league. I think Reinders is going to make them a lot better too. They got Cherky now. And then, like I said, if they would get a Rodrigo, even if they don't get Rodrigo, I just think they have enough firepower to actually just score on anybody too. Arsenal is going to be good defensively, and if they add Eze, they'll be good. I think Liverpool, I think there's going to be some growing pains. I understand that Ekitike has scored and stuff in past 2 games, but Wirtz hasn't looked that good. Is Gakpo all that good too? You know, I think Salah's going to regress a little. I think Van Dijk's going to regress.
When I look at Man City though, Dally, that back line is atrocious. I'm sorry. Matthias Nunes at right back next to Ruben Diaz. And then look, Ryan Aït-Nouri is a good left back, but defensively, he's food. That back line, aside from Vardiol, is ass. I'm going to be honest. I feel like they can get got at. And I think you saw what happened in that Club World Cup when they went out there, lost to Al Hilal, who was hitting them on the counter, right? I think as well, if you have pace in your attack, you can go at Man City. I just don't think defensively they will be able to win the title. Now, obviously, right, Pep Guardiola is a phenomenal manager. I think he's never gone back-to-back seasons without winning a league, right? Since he's been a manager, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, exactly.
So he generally always bounces back, but I just don't think this City team currently is good enough. And I think even if they get Rodrigo, they still would not be good enough because Rodrigo can't play left back or right back or center back. And I think, if you lose Savio, then okay, going for Rodrigo, I get it. But I feel like their money should be going towards more physical players in that back line, but more so a right back.
Yeah, no, I mean, they could probably get better. I mean, I think almost every single team could get better. I think Oscar Bob's actually somebody who's actually pretty good. I mean, he got hurt last season, but what I've seen from him, I think he looks pretty good too. So, I don't know. I could be wrong. You know, I'm not hoping for it. I don't care. I don't care if they win it.
Yeah.
So, but
I mean, if I was Rodrigo, to be honest with you, I would stay.
You think it's best for his career if he stays? Honestly?
I would give it 1 season. I would give it this 1 season to see how it
under
goes.
Xabi. Yeah.
Yep. Like, I'll see if I really am a part of his plans or if maybe he's just not playing me right now because of all the transfer speculation, right? Yeah. Maybe I'll give it 1 year because I do think Rodrigo will get minutes this season. Players are going to get injured. We're going to have to rotate, right? And if Vinicius keeps playing like this, I mean, that left wing might be up for grabs.
I was going to say, is there a world that next season Rodrigo is a starting left winger for Real Madrid?
Of course. Because look, as far as we know, Dally, Rodrigo could be playing the long game. He's probably thinking to himself, Vinicius looks awful. If I just wait, be patient, let Vinicius keep thinking it out, and then when I get my opportunities, I perform, I link better with Mbappe. Xabi's going to have to start me. And then if Vinicius does not play well next summer, let's say he goes to Saudi.
It's yours.
It's yours.
Yeah.
And I do think that the profile of Rodrigo works better with Mbappe because Rodrigo, he knows that he's not the star of the team, right? Whereas Vinicius, because of what he's already done at Real Madrid, the fact that he's our number 7, right? Number 7 is the biggest number you can get at our club. Like, he is a star player.
Mm-hmm.
The issue now is Mbappe is also a star player. So I think, yeah, it looks like they do have good chemistry in terms of off the pitch, right? Like you see when Mbappe scores, Vinicius is happy for him. He runs over to celebrate. When Vinicius scores, Mbappe runs over and celebrates with him, right? They comment on Instagram, they biggie each other up. That's all well and good. Off the pitch, they could be best mates. But on the fucking pitch, it's just not working as of right now. So I think it's because you have two star players who generally like to occupy the same spaces. Now, when you have a Rodrigo out there, Rodrigo is better off the ball than both of them.
Yep.
I think he does a lot more dirty work. And I think Rodrigo is perfectly fine with being just the link-up man, right? Who will also get some of his chances. So he'll be looking to set up Mbappe more times than not. So I do think that his profile does fit a little bit better, bro.
Yeah, no, I hope Rodrigo stays, if I'm being selfish and stuff. When I'm talking about Rodrigo, though, and saying if I was him, I'd go to City, it's just because I think it'd be better for his career, just because it's kind of, you know that you're probably the starting left winger there on a really, really good team over there. That's what I'm saying. I'd prefer him to stay because I want competition for Vinny, because I don't want Vinny just have the easy way out where, let's say if we sell Rodrigo and Vinny continues to have a stinker, who's coming in for Vinny at the left wing? I guess we could be saying put Mbappe over there and bench Vinny, put Gonzalo Garcia, but that's it. That's really the only
a good call out, though, because if Vinicius does leave, right?
Yep.
For me, if he leaves, I think then you got to move Mbappe left, and then I think Mbappe also gets the 7, and then you just.
I think he's going to keep the 10. To be honest with you,
I don't think so. You know,
dude,
well,
that guy loves 10.
If Vinicius stays, I think he does keep the.
I think he
10.
would keep. I think if he could get any number, I think he's getting 10. I'll be honest.
Really?
Yeah, because I think couldn't he have had 10 at France? Wasn't he? Or is it Griezmann still?
He wears 10 for France, if I'm not mistaken. I think Griezmann wears 7 for France.
I don't know. If I ever meet Mbappe, I'll ask him.
Mbappe at PSG was number 7.
True, but yeah, I mean that is a good argument because he could have had 10 and then Dembele came and took it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you could have had that number. And again, I think at Real Madrid, 7 is like
I like 7 better. So
like obviously 10 is it's an important number in world football, right? Like this is where a lot of the phenomenal players wear that number. But like for example, 10 is the biggest number at like Barcelona, right?
Yep,
you know, Messi 100%. And
Ansu Fati.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's not bring up Ansu Fati because then, bro, they can just bring up Mariano Diaz. I don't know how he got the number 7, bro. They really had Mariano Diaz after CR7 left.
I think he's in La Liga. I thought I just saw he's playing. I don't know where he's at. Yeah.
I think he's at Alaves, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we'll see him in a couple weeks then.
Yeah, so. I mean, shit.
I don't know.
Man, I'm still excited for this season. I don't think 100% is going to really be able to make me change any of my predictions. I still think that we win it. Personally, I just think Xabi's going to have to just find a way that if you're going to be going against back 6, something's got to change, right? Now, whether that's you get Valverde in better positions to, be a little bit outside the box to get better shots, maybe Arda Güler as well. But I think we're going to be just fine, bro. It's not going to be a big issue. I think that was a penalty, right? Just because Mbappe stepped on his foot or his leg, but the player slid himself to be underneath Mbappe.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, like, what is Mbappe supposed to do?
Float.
Yeah, float. Dally, levitate. Mbappe should have levitated because the player was underneath him after he missed the ball. That's what Mbappe should have done. Yeah. He should have just levitated, and then then there would have been no foul, bro. I mean, it's just actually ridiculous, man.
But I feel the same. No, here, what do you think about us not having Jude? Do you think Jude would have helped this game? Because I personally think so, because he's the type of guy who makes the runs into the box to kind of open up the defense a little bit more. You know what I mean? Jude's not afraid of taking a shot. He's also a bigger profile too, somebody you can actually aim for in the box. There's been a lot of Jude hate that I do not agree with that all out there. So I want to hear from you, mate.
Player, Dally.
What was that?
Do you think he's like one of the best midfielders in the world? Do you think
I do?
Do you think that he's not all that? Like, how do you view this player?
I think he's the best midfielder in the world. I mean, there's been a lot of times he does score a ton of goals and stuff. He's never going to replicate that first season. because he was basically playing a false nine. But I think he's incredibly underrated, his ball control out there too. Some of the passes that I've seen from him. I remember the long pass to Endrick that we've seen. Some of the passes to Mbappe, to Vinny and stuff like that. I think he's incredible, honestly. And the physicality and just like the size of him too. And him defensively and everything. I just think he's the overall most complete midfielder in the world. I really believe that. You could say that, Pedri might be better at passing. You could say Vitinha might be better. I think Jude's the best overall midfielder. There's nobody in the world I would rather have. So.
I wouldn't take a Pedri or I wouldn't take Vitinha over Jude. I think he is an underrated player, but I do think he does get gassed up a bit because of social media, right? Yeah. So in that sense, then you can understand why everybody kind of hopes to see him fail. But just in terms of profiles, obviously we didn't buy Jude to be a false nine, right? No. That we can give Carlo credit. That was a masterclass tactically from him, right? Benzema left. We had no 9. Yeah, we brought in Joselu, but Joselu is not the level to be starting at Real Madrid week in, week out, right? He was best coming off the bench. That's where he thrived. So now, Carlo, you put Jude at the top of that diamond. You give him that freedom to crash the box. Masterclass, right?
Yep.
But Jude is a box-to-box 8. He did that at Birmingham. He did that at Dortmund. That's why we paid for him to come to Real Madrid, right? And I think in this game, of course, he could have helped. Because he would have been crashing the box, right? That would have been another player making those runs in. Jude is also a physical player as well, right? Where Arda, right? Arda's in the midfield. Arda's not physical, right? Like Arda's not going to be the kind of player that's, running into the box and trying to go like air league battles with these big defenders stuff. No. But Jude would have given us something different, right? So I definitely do think that we missed him. But at the same time, I'm not going to use that as, like an excuse for why we struggled, because I just think Osasuna played really well. I just got to give them credit. But in terms of just like Jude in general, though, I think when he comes back, hopefully in like another month or so, that's going to be a big boost for us.
Who are you dropping?
Right? Well, I think the formation changes.
4-4-2?
3-5-2.
3-5-2?
Okay. 3-5-2. Yeah, I think the reason that we're not playing the 3-5-2 right now is because Jude is not there. So for me, I believe because who started?
Is Tchouaméni the middle center back again?
Yeah,
I think so.
That's where he's been his best, because in like that hybrid role, like off the ball, he runs into the midfield, he's leading the press. On the ball, he drops deep. Housen goes out to the left. Militao goes out wide to the right, and it's a back 3 on the ball. It works with Tchouaméni there. I think Brahim, for example, in that 11 would be the only odd man out if Jude was fit.
Yep.
Because then you start Vinny Mbappe up top. Then you have Arda, Jude, and Valverde in that midfield 3 with Trent at right wing back, Alvaro Carreras at left wing back.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I know some people are saying in the chat, too, he is a better Fede Valverde. Is that supposed to be a diss to Jude Bellingham? Jude does get a lot of hate because he's chosen La Liga. He's chosen Real Madrid over the Prem. So that's part of it. But even look what he's done for England. You know what I mean? Look, he was the best player in Bundesliga, best player in La Liga already. I mean, I think that guy's special.
The season before he joined us, he literally won Bundesliga Player of the Year.
That's what I'm saying. At like 20 or 19, something like that.
Like, people act like this guy's game is only down to GA. Like, since when do we strictly judge a midfielder off GA? 8. Like, at that, bro. Like, but just because he played that one season once Mbappe joined us, Jude's numbers were going to always drop. And
he'll never have as many goals as he did that first season.
Of course not, because now we have a striker up front.
Exactly.
So Jude doesn't need to be occupying that. Yes, Jude will still get his GA occasionally, but he will crash the box, but he's not going to be that main man running down the middle when Vinícius is out wide, Rodrigo's out wide on the right, and then Vinny's kind of operating like that false 9 kind of role. It's not what we bought him for, right? So I think everybody that doesn't really, for me, I think the disrespect is wild. And this is why Dave and I beef, right? Like, the fact that Dave would say that Frankie de Jong is a better player than Jude, to me, it's obscene. When if we had Frankie instead of Jude, we probably don't win La Liga or the UCL 23-24. So how can he be the better player? Because if he's a better player, then we should be winning the fucking Champions League with him then.
Yeah. No,
it doesn't make any sense.
No, exactly. And in chat, he won La Liga Player of the Year. Just Google it. Look it up.
In his
I'm not lying about
season.
it. Yeah.
In his first season, he literally went Bundesliga Player of the Year. The very next season, won La Liga Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
This man, Jude Bellingham, is doing shit that fucking Pedri dreams of. Pedri dreams about a Player of the Year fucking award. Pedri dreams about the UCL. Like, Jude's reality is Pedri's dreams. Like, let's be very clear here, right? Obviously, Pedri, yeah, he's a better passer. Aside from that,
that's what I'm saying.
On the ball as well. I'd say that, like, Pedri's first touch is better as well.
Yeah,
but in general, I think Jude offers you more.
Yep. I'd rather have the profile of Jude. I think there's more Pedris out there than there's Judes. So.
Ooh.
I do. I think, okay, who's closer? Vitinha or Pet? That's going to piss people off. I think, but like, honestly, though, like, I think Vitinha is pretty similar to Pedri, too. I think there's a lot of players. I mean, Frankie, I think, is similar to Pedri and stuff like that. I mean, just start going down the line.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that deep line playmaker role.
Yeah, there's more of them.
Like that Pedri profile. I mean, I hear what you're saying.
I just think Jude, as an all-around player, is great. So that's what I mean. I think he's great. I think he's great in multiple different areas, too. I think Pedri is fantastic at passing, and his control is very good, too. And I'm not taking anything away from him. I just think Jude is a better scorer. He is better defensively, and I would rather have him on my team. So
I think Jude is more impactful than Pedri.
Yep, exactly.
If that makes sense, right? I do feel like Pedri gets overly glazed, right? Just because he's like, bro, like, look, let's be real, right? Like, Barcelona's PR is very strong, but obviously Pedri's a baller. I would take him at Real Madrid, right? Like, let's not get this confused. I think Pedri starts if he's playing for Real Madrid, right? Like, let's not like act like I'm dissing him, saying that he's trash. But I think that the PR is very strong. Like, bro, I'll be watching a Barca game, right? And Pedri will do like a little 10-yard pass, right? And then my chat, oh my God, Pedri, oh my, what a player. Oh, my God. Nobody else could have made that pass. Oh, my days. Yep. Oh, Vitinha is nowhere near. Oh, no, Pedri is just the best. Like, yo, bro, he just made a 10-yard pass. Yo, bro, like, sometimes I'll see, like, the Pedri hype, and I'm thinking to myself, like, did I miss something? Like, maybe I was looking at the chat when Pedri just did a madness. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's actually crazy how much they glazed this guy. But he is a good player, though.
100%.
He is. Like, nobody's saying like that he's not. But yeah, I do think that
both things can be true, people. Both things can be true. They're both fantastic midfielders, but
but like, real quick, Dally, before we wrap up, right? Big up to the chat, right? Shout out to everybody that's in here. Over 300 people. Make sure you guys run that likes up, because I think we're less than 100 likes, bro. Like, I don't know. Sometimes, like, the viewers are just like, the like to viewer conversion rate is just awful, bro.
Stingy guys.
It is awful, man. Like, yo, these guys are moving fraud. Dally, every single person that's watching that didn't smash that like button, they all deserve 50 public lashes in the town square, bro. This is just wild. But make sure that you guys subscribe to Dally as well. Title is his link is in my title. Just click that, go over there, subscribe to Dally FC. But bro, before we get on out of here, do you think we look a lot better against Oviedo?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. They got absolutely dominated by Villarreal with only 5 shots, 1 big chance created. I guess the pitch is terrible there, so that's going to be something we need to worry about. It looks like it's a schoolyard park or something like that. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, I think we're going to look a lot better now. Are we going to be making changes? Are we seeing the same starting 11 that we just saw yesterday, or is it something different? That's what I'm curious about.
So then, if he starts Vinny again,
that's okay.
Okay, so you wouldn't be mad at that?
I'm not going to be mad if he does that. If Vinny continues to suck and then he doesn't make changes, then I'm going to have issues. I don't think Brahim should be out there. So what do you think about, like, that
3-game rule that I was kind of talking about?
I think that's fair.
3 games. Okay.
I think that's fair. I would like to see Rodrigo, though. I'm okay if Vinny starts, if we get to see Rodrigo, too, especially if Vinny's not doing well. You know what I mean? I don't think you can be bringing on Brahim starting, in my opinion. I like Brahim, but you have to know what he is. He's good off the bench. He's a super sub at best for Real Madrid. I would rather see Franco being an 18-year-old. Talk about, like, the ceiling that Franco has.
Yeah.
I'd way rather be seeing that. So that's what I'd probably like to be seeing.
Yeah, I actually do think that Franco starts on that right-hand side.
But
by the way, like, what do you think about the whole registration situation with him? Because
I don't care.
I've been seeing that people are upset that we registered him as a Castilla player. But, let's be real, right? We all know he's a first-team player. But we did this with Vinicius. We did this with Rodrigo. Franco will play a Castilla match.
Camavinga, too. I thought we did it with, too.
Was it Camavinga as well? I don't think we did that with
I don't know. No.
Because I think when Camavinga came in, I swear right away he was a first-team player. Because wasn't Camavinga number 25 his first season?
Was it that or 26?
You sure he wasn't 25?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. But I
think Fede. I think we did it with Fede.
No, well, yeah, because we bought Fede when he was like 16.
Yeah.
So we actually did buy. But Vinny, Rodrigo, they were registered as Castilla players, and they did play some match. Like Franco will play a match or two there. Like he has to, right? Just so that it doesn't.
How many minutes does he have to play? Can he just come on and come off?
I mean, he'll probably. I mean, I don't think it really matters as long as he's just like on the bench or something. Like he has to do something for them, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's smart business by Real Madrid, right? And the rules, they do allow you to register these players that are under 23 to your B team, and your B squad players are allowed to play in La Liga. I think some people are just upset that Madrid did it. I don't really see what the big deal is.
Yeah, if there's one thing I'm not worried about, it's the way that Real Madrid operates. You know what I mean? I think financially, I think we're fine. I think abiding by the rules, I think we're fine too. This isn't Barcelona, guys. I'm not that concerned about it, to be honest.
We'll be perfectly fine. And so if Camavinga was wearing 25,
all right, then he was first.
Yeah, because 1 through 25, only first team registered players can get that, like those numbers. And you know what's crazy? Do you know? I just realized, Dally. Do you know that in La Liga, and I never noticed it. Goalkeepers can only wear
1 and 13,
number
right?
1, 13, or 25. That never computed to me. Like, I never sat there and thought about. I think that's stupid.
I never thought about the numbers until like Trent. Until I'm like, I hope he's not wearing 66, and people are like, oh, he can't wear it. I was like, I forgot about that.
Right, that's
I completely forgot.
Trent can't wear. Yeah. So you got to pick number 12. The thing is, like that to me.
I think it's a dumb rule. I think it's a dumb rule.
Like who? Yeah. Like why do you care what numbers these players wear? Like it should be like the Premier League or like in Italy where you see like these odd numbers.
79,
right?
90, something
like
whatever.
Like look at like Nico Paz at Como. 79. That's a dope number.
0. I want to see a 0 out there. That'd be cool. We see that NBA football. I think 0 would be.
Had a 0 in world football though.
Not that I know of. That'd be cool though.
Yeah, now look, fair enough. But now look, people, we're going to wrap up here. Carnage X Dalio. Bro, it was great to do this like one-on-one. I know usually
Fun time, mate.
We're on chaos and like, everybody's screaming at each other. But now look, bro, you're somebody whose content, even before we've met, Dali, do you know, I didn't know about any other English-speaking Madrid like YouTubers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then one day, I see your video pops up on my recommended, right? So I'm like, let me click on it. I never heard of you before. And you were speaking English and not like, UK. I'm like American. I'm like, oh, shit. So, bro, I'm not going to lie.
That's funny.
I was like, there's more of us. Because all that I knew of was Faisal for like the longest. That's the only, So
I didn't know anybody. I tried to find it before just to watch videos and stuff. I was just like, dude, I'm like, nobody's making this. I was like, I'm not a pro or anything like that, but I was like, I guess I'll make it. If people like it, cool. If not, whatever. So, yeah, couple of us out here, man. A couple of us out here. A while. Got to represent the USA. But
yeah, look, bro, it's gonna be a great season for the both of us, man. Come on, my guy. But now, look, people, make sure to subscribe to Dali, right? Make sure that you smash that like button on your way out. Who's live that we can redirect to real quick? We are going to be doing Football Mania on the second channel, people, in like an hour and a half or like another 2 hours, basically. So I'm not going to redirect you over there because I'm not. Yeah, bro, nobody's fucking live. My goodness me. All right, fuck it. Nobody's getting a redirect, but that's okay, though. Look, big up to your damn self. Smash that like button. Like I said, subscribe to me, subscribe to Dali. And yeah, I'll be back on the second channel in a bit. Dali, real quick, you have anything else that's coming up or not?
Match preview coming up. That's about it. We'll get some instant reactions too coming up here soon too, and some more videos too. We might have Will hop on here very soon too. So
Come on, bro. I definitely have to make my debut on Dally FC, but nah, people. In a bit. Peace.
Al Madrid.